Hi, everybody. We're here. And first and foremost, because Kelly is a Canadian and I have actually technically have dual citizenship, my parents were born there. We want to say we mourn the loss of Queen Elizabeth. I grew up in a household that had Queen Elizabeth inauguration ashtrays, I mean, and pictures of her and stuff. And my mother always considered her the height of elegance and good manners, which she was.
Absolutely.
So we are really, really
I,
sorry.
I am like actually emotional. I remember, several times when she came for a visit, that we would
Mhm.
gather, or just different members of the royal family that we would go to see them. Um, it's very upsetting, obviously, for the people in England. It's a lot more upsetting, but for any of the Commonwealth countries, I mean, what what is what an amazing legacy she has created and left for any young girl who thinks that I can't do something. I mean,
Mhm.
she was a mechanic in the war. I mean, she's led a phenomenal life of service. And earlier on the news today, they were playing her speech that she made when she was just 21, when she became the queen. And it was an amazing speech. So, anyways, our thoughts and prayers are with the people of England and all of the Commonwealth countries, and of course her family.
Yeah,
96 years old. What a legacy! My God.
I know. I had two grandmothers that made it to 100. My
Wow.
mother didn't, but my mother died of complications of the treatment that saved her life and then cost her life. It was a complication off of chemo from breast cancer, but it gave her 25 more years. So, we
Wow.
can't gripe about that.
No.
And she had a kind of breast cancer. It was her own fault. She smoked. No offense, Kelly, but she
It's
smoked.
all good.
I know. And anyway, so I'm really sorry about that. And I know for some of us, the first person who let us know is a person who's in our chat who's from Finland. Apparently, Finnish news got it faster than American because neither of us had seen it.
Well, yeah, we both were like, what?
Yeah, and then tech support contacted me. Tech support's in Atlanta undoing someone's grievous security breach, which is why I don't know the company. All I know is that they're in the Atlanta area. Um, and they'd gotten the news. But uh, tech support's father was British, and so tech support has dual citizenship. Um, okay, I wanted to talk about a few things that are going on. For those of you who don't know, I had a vision a week ago, a little more than a week ago, about riding a dragon. So now I'm in a new phase of my psychic career, riding the dragon, and I have been told that I'm tasked to bring things to humanity that teach them how to deal with the elementals, the fairies and the gnomes and the giants and all the supernatural creatures that we all thought were in fairy tale books. And actually, they were really here at one point in time. And one of the things, and it's kind of hard to say considering the news we got today, but one of the things was that we're to learn how to use traditions and ideas and rituals to move ourselves into a more joyous frame of mind. And so they said, we brought you across because you have the perfect opportunity to do this. So starting the 14th of this month through the 22nd, I will once again be lighting the 9 candles. So y'all have lots of time to find those candles. They don't have to be red. I use red candles because I adapted this out of the Chinese prosperity ceremony. But you can make it whatever you want. And what my thing's going to be is to have people figure out which rituals they can use that can connect them more to the grounding that they have in their life and in their body and in their energy systems. Because we are really going through a lot right now. But one of the things everybody keeps getting freaked out about is we're going through this Pluto return. The US is going through this Pluto return. And I saw an astrologer, and I've never seen her before. I have no idea how she ended up my feed. Her name is Anne, Anne, Ortelee, Ortelee. She's an astrologer. She must have been around for a long time because she's got about 70,000 subscribers. So how I've managed to miss this woman all this time, I have no idea. But she was talking about, she was just at the big astrology convention that was in Denver. And she was lecturing, and she was talking about this Pluto return, and how, other countries have had Pluto returns and had them twice because they lived long. I mean, Pluto takes 200 something years to go around.
Yes.
And that's why it's just coming back to us from 1776. But what she said is she was sitting at a table signing things and talking to people who were part of the convention. And this man walked up, and he was completely backlit. So she couldn't see his features. She couldn't see his name tag or what group he was from or anything. And he said, "We've already had a Pluto return on this continent." She said, "What do you mean?" And he said, 1619. And if you don't know that book, that's the year that the first slaves were brought from Africa to America. And this woman wrote a book called 1619. It's one of the things conservatives don't like because it really talks about the real hell of slavery. And since my guide, Addie, was a being that came through, lived that lifetime to help her people transition. And she's like, go for this. I mean, when I was listening to this woman talk, and it ends up, there was a Pluto return based on that date, 1619. It was 1867, which is when slavery ended. So she said, and she looked at the guy and she said, "So we have survived a second," because there's a lot of astrologers running around, or people who I intend to act like astrologers, who are running around beating a drum like this is going to be the end of the world. Well, it's not going to be the end of the world. Yeah, it was really ugly during the period they went through that transition. And what I got today when I was meditating before I was putting this program together is we are individually responsible for how difficult or how easy this transition is going to be. And it's time for us to pony up, do the right thing, learn how to be responsible adult human beings, which means, in my case, when I talk to people about that, if you're over the age of 18, go get registered and go vote. And, I really do care how you vote, because I think there's a certain way that's very warped. But voting, it's your responsibility. Then you can't sit back and say, well, it's not my fault, I didn't vote. Well, if you didn't vote, it's even more your fault.
Right.
So anyway, that's me. I'm getting off my high horse. But that's what we're going to be doing. And on the last day of the summer solstice, when we get to the equinox, which is the 22nd of September, I'm going to be with Jeffrey, and I'm going to be with Johan van Wyck, who is the guy who mends ley lines astrally projected, as well as physically going to spaces in South Africa. And the reason we're going to talk to him is because 4 times a year, the earth does its own little ritual. All the ley lines go straight. And it's the equinoxes and the solstices. So we're going to discuss that. So that's what we're building up to. Getting our act together, getting our lines straight. So,
Right.
Okay. And I do hope my candles get here. This has been my only glitch. I ordered them from Amazon because I'm getting a new candle holder, because my kids have threatened me if I burn the house down one more time, they're out of here. So I found some that they approved, and they're real pretty, and they're round, and they're globes, and they're gold, and I'll put a red candle. You don't have to have a red candle. If you have 9 candles, just make sure they're in something safe, because I don't want your house to burn down.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It says I like high horses. Tee.
Yeah, or make sure you have a really good fire extinguisher and you know where it is. The time we set my desk on fire got us to get a fire extinguisher, which we should have had. We have a gas stove, Let's see.
Thank you, Sharon, for putting my link up there. I just want to say I changed, so I'm on vacation this week, but of course when Nancy Jean calls, I respond because I love Nancy Jean. So I changed my name for my channel.
What is it?
I just shortened it up a little bit.
Okay.
It was Cat's Wellness Tarot, and nobody knew it was me, which I thought was really funny. So I spent more time in chats going, no, it's Kelly, it's me. It doesn't Cat's.
Mm-hmm.
So then I changed it back and put the DZN back in front of it, so people know it's me. But anyways, in case anyone's wondering why it looks different, I have changed the name, but it's still me.
It's, and it's just, when you start a YouTube channel, sometimes we end up having to clarify with what we're going through. Now, this may be a little rough for Kelly because she and I got chatting about the Queen dying and we didn't get a chance to look at the questions, but we have 4 of them, and they're really interesting. And then we will take questions out of the chat. But as you all know, put the questions in caps. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm writing them down as you put them in the chat. So
okay, we're going to try to get y'all covered. Okay, was the door opening in my parents' empty house spirits or malfunctioning lock? This is from TJ. She's a regular in our chat room. Yeah. And I'll tell you before we go there, this is what I rolled for today. And this is before I knew the Queen was going to die or anything. And what the stones show for our energy today is our clarity is in solar plexus, and it's more than one way to express your power and move outward. And then our spirit is in fire, which is thoughts from the past could be clouding us. And I was thinking, well, we're thinking about the future, but I guess that must be having to think back to the Queen. Yeah. And then Earth says spirits transforming and not yet finished. So that's kind of where we are collectively today. And our body's in a great place. Yeah. This is ground your thoughts. No matter which way you go with it, air or water, this is ground your thoughts, get tied to the earth, which makes all the sense in the world with what I'm doing with the 9 candles. And then we got in the tree of life, we got our values. And it says, learn from the lessons to create harmony. So that's where we're going with this. And then the last part of this is our mind is in the root chakra. It means creativity is the key to your security, and that our mind will be aligned with creativity. We got the mind and go for it, which means your thoughts are leading the way. And we're in water because it didn't hit in the past. It barely missed being there. It's in water. And when mind shows up in water, it means have your mind let go of the limitations that have been going on around you. So this is where we all are today. We've got things growing, making new, powerful, doing creative things because we're seeking a grander harmony. So that's kind of where we are. Now we're going to go look at TJ's parents' door. And I'm going to do
my immediate feeling is that it is a spirit. That's my immediate feeling.
Okay. I'm going to do with my extra super woo-woo crystal that my friend's mother told her to get to me, and she's on the other side. So Virginia, is this someone who should be with you? I was going through that door. Okay. I have permission to douse. I have permission to douse. I'm aligned with my higher spirit. And am I fully protected? Be nice if I got an answer, guys. Yeah. Okay. Now,
Elaine.
Okay, let's see. TJ, was this a spirit opening the door? It's a grandparent. It's a generation beyond the people who owned that house. That's what I got. What'd you get, Kelly?
About 12 cards just flew out on the table.
Well, maybe it's 12 grandparents.
But I didn't. So I'm using one of Scott Allen's cards, actually. And it says, our universe may be a mystery, but be amazed of all that is the matrix of energy. The 3D life may be a struggle, but your soul is pure love, which is interesting. The next card that I've got is, you have the power within you. Ask the universe.
So she could have answered this for herself. And I think she had a feeling it wasn't just the lock.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to go to the next one. And it is from Only Daughter. She'd been writing to us in the chat about looking for jobs. She had 3 job offers, The one I accepted seems to have obstacles. Did I make the right choice? What does the garden say for me? So I'm going to roll it into the garden, and then Kelly can pull you some cards because that's what she does.
Tammy says the property was my grandfather's before my dad owned it, just a different house.
Okay. It's him. It's probably them, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, what's going on around your job? Oh, lots of emerging things. It's probably, but you've got clarity. Go for it, girl. Which means I'm asking about this current job. And in Go For It, it says, move now on your intuition. So if you feel like you're in the wrong place, don't shut the door. Unchanged. Don't think I'm locked here.
Yeah.
And I see that you've got something coming in the near future. All the gifts from this job are not yet recognized. That may be part of what you feel are obstacles. It's just not completed, formed. And then look at all the stuff you got in water, which is, that's what's moving on, and that's part of change. And you're going to become much more grounded. You're going to let go of your own mental limitations that you have about this already. And Spirit says that thoughts from the past are clouding what you're seeing right now. Maybe there's things you're hearing that, oh God, when I heard that before at a job, it didn't work out. But this says that transmutation is almost completed. So you just need to hang in there. So you've got two options. Keep your eyes open. Don't, trust your own intuition. But a lot of the best of what you're going to get from this job is going to come up. So don't run away from it just yet. Don't quit. And we're going to move you over, Kelly.
Thank you, my dear. We start out with the 10 of Wands. It's an interesting card because it's coming in from the past, and so I feel like exactly what Nancy Jean said. This is you're on a journey, right? You've sort of decided, I just want something different, and so you're moving towards that, right? We've got the Queen of Swords, which is, I love the energy of the Queen of Swords because I sort of feel like, she sort of sits there and surveys everything, right? She's very analytical, she's very logical, she's truth seeking. She's sort of she's the kind of person that's like proactive, not reactive, right? If that makes sense, right? Then we've got the Page of Swords. So this is someone who is like a sponge for information, right? Literally trying to soak up every bit of knowledge that you can get. And the last card that I got is the High Priestess, which, as Nancy Jean said, this is about your intuition, right? So I got the Fool on the bottom of the deck, so a new beginning, right? New adventure. But interestingly enough, behind that, on the bottom of the deck, I have the Devil card. So I don't know if you are struggling internally with some sort of thing that you have decided, like if you have said that this is my checklist, right? And the job needs to have this, 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 and this, and that. And you think that it doesn't because it seems to be a little bit different, or how they've presented it is a bit different. I feel like I want to say to you, like, just take a step back, right? Be that Queen of Swords, survey it, and then tap into your intuition and see how your gut feels about it instead of how your head feels about it. And I did throw an oracle card here, and it is time for change. Do not put off decisions any longer. And so I just really want to say to you, try not to get in your own way. I understand that these are big decisions. Sometimes they can be life-changing, right? Maybe you need to relocate, whatever the case may be. But just try to see how you feel about it instead of what you think about it, or in addition to what you think about it.
I've always thought that the swords, those guys, they've got those swords to go around and stick it in everybody's bag of bullshit.
Yeah.
Think about it that way.
Yeah.
Okay, this one's kind of complicated. My adopted nephew wants or needs to go back to his homeland, Russia. He has dual citizenship. He's picking up his passport today. He's doing it at one of the consulates in Texas. I don't know if it's Houston or Dallas, but anyway, what is the best moves for his safety? Thank you for your thanks for your kindness from him.
But I'm going to throw my deck of character in and just see what I can get on his overall
okay.
thing that he's doing today.
Yeah, let me see about his journeying to Russia. The reason he's going back, by the way, was this was a really long post. He's going back because his natural mother is dying.
Uh-huh.
So that's why it's like not a thing he can maybe hold off on.
Right.
Okay, the first thing I got is in the root chakra, and it says time to come to cosmic wisdom is needed for this question. And I have the mind between restate and the past. And when you put those two energies together,
he's very stressed about this.
Yes. This says he really needs to think, rethink, and decide what is ultimately best for him in the long term. He's got a bunch of stuff, and he's got the spirit and water and air, and he's in a moment of really transformative thinking. And he's almost, I think by picking that passport up, he's made the commitment to go there and to see her. I could understand the fear, considering even with dual citizenship. I mean, they're not nice to the people who have only one citizenship. And then the body is in.
I feel like he feels like he's walking into a burning building. Like I feel his fear for sure.
And that's just realistic.
Yeah. 100%.
He needs to stay really clearly grounded and not do anything that could screw this up he needs to listen to his intuition before he takes off and goes to this, because more is going to come forward before he makes that final decision to get on the airplane. Right now, I think he's thinking, rethinking, rehashing what could happen to him.
Yeah.
And as we all would in that situation, because nobody wants to end up in a Russian jail. I'm going to hide the questions so they can see more of you, Kelly.
Well, isn't that sweet? Thank you kindly.
Well, it's hard when only half the cards in. It's hard to get where the card gets seen.
All right. So just quickly, so I threw my deck of character. I've got the Master, the Tunnel, the Desert, and the Inferno. So that's why I said, like, he's really feeling the intensity of this situation for all of the reasons, right? His natural mother being of ill health, and obviously in the situation that Russia is in. So the first card I've got here is sensitivity and strength. And I love this card. I love the image on it, right? Tapping the forces within. So really encouraging him to listen to his gut instincts, right? Really tapping into his inner knowledge and his inner wisdom. We all have that. And oftentimes we, don't pay attention to it. We're not in tune to it. We push it away, and try to think with this thing up here. Sometimes we just have to listen to our heart, because our heart's always gonna be honest with us, right? I've got first light, beginning a new cycle. If he can sort of, and this is difficult because this isn't like a wellness thing. I understand that this is a situation that you must be careful, right? Considering where you're going. So I'm not saying to abandon his mind and not be, cautious, but try not to live in the outcome of what this situation could mean for him, right? In terms of his natural mother's health. If he can try to stay sort of like moment to moment, that might be easier for him. And then I've got gates of triumph. Success expands in your life. And I feel like if he allows himself to take one step in, in front of the other, that the journey is going to be a lot easier on him. Eliza just put in the chat, he's a Pisces sun, super sensitive. And I just thought that was really interesting because look at that. Look at the sun there.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then we've got that light. So you've got the same colorings in both of these cards. So that's really interesting. Walking towards the light, which is beautiful. Walking towards the sun. I hope that helps a little bit, Eliza.
I did a quick reading on what my guides were telling me. I don't think she's going to live till he gets there.
Yeah, maybe.
I see that she's really in worse health, that there's going to be more roadblocks put up to him entering Russia. Despite the dual passport, this shows he really wants to learn and understand and touch that heritage again. I don't think he has enough time. And I think he needs to be taught to forgive himself because he couldn't be here, because it's circumstances.
Okay. I got you where you're going with that. Thank you, Hypnocity, for your super sticker, by the way. That was very kind of you.
Thank you.
Let me just pull one more card, Nancy Jean.
Okay.
You know how sometimes you're just compelled to do it and you don't even know why you're compelled to do it?
Right.
Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Gut. Well, this is from the Chakra Insight deck. This is your sacral chakra, or sorry, your solar plexus chakra, right? So this is instinct. So this is intuition, knowing, sensing, and trust. So trusting his gut instinct. If he feels that this is what he needs to do and he feels that he can do it in a safe way, I think he needs to go there, as opposed to
listening to a chicken shit who wouldn't get on an airplane and go near Russia like me.
Right. We'll go with that.
Just saying. Got one last one that came in the feed.
This is hi, Cold Toes. Thank you for your super sticker.
Thank you, Cold Toes. I'll see you Saturday, Cold Toes. She's in my gardening class. We're gonna do this one. Diana watched an old video of that I'd done with Linda G. We were talking about chakras and weight loss, and I talked because Linda G was asking me how I'd lost the 100 pounds. And I did it by dealing with my heart chakra first. So I'm going to show you guys another thing. And this is an Alma thing. So don't write me about where you can get it. Go to hers, almamade.co, which I didn't put the address in because when I was writing up my things, I didn't think to do it. But anyway, this is her chakra wheel. Mm-hmm. Makes it easier to talk about the chakras.
Beautiful.
Yes. And
she is beyond talented, this woman.
I know. This is the green. This is the one I want to talk about the most. The green, which is the heart. That's blue. What happened to the green? Is that supposed to be green? Oh, this is green. My room's kind of dark, guys, so it's a little hard to see. But this is green. And that's the heart chakra. And this is the solar plexus. And this is the sacral. And this red guy is the root. And the violet is the crown. This is all backward. This is the throat. Yes, throat. And then this is... Is that right? Blue. Yeah. Okay. And this is indigo. And that's for your third eye. It's for your, third eye. Anyway, the way the chakra roots go, if you start, when you do chakra clearing meditations, they'll either start at the root and go root, sacral, solar plexus, and then heart, which,
Yep.
and if you notice, this is like the rainbow. It's red, orange, yellow, and then then the next one's blue. So between the blue and yellow is green. Then there's blue, then there's indigo, and then there's violet. Okay.
Beautiful.
And that's how they go. And what happened was I was meditating when I was deciding, and this is before I lost the weight, and I realized that I could live here in these three things. I'll say anything to anybody, guys. This will not shock you through my throat. But my crown chakra and my third eye and all that was wide open, but I could not connect them to my root, my sacral, and my solar plexus. And the solar plexus is the thing that really gets you up and running. It's, if you think about it, like a little planetary system and right below your rib cage, and the faster that those things spin, then they spin it through your heart. So the gatekeeper, whether it's from the top or from the bottom, is the heart. And when I went into my heart, what I saw was I had gained all that weight and created that weight for myself because I became I called it my fort fat. And if people would get past that to get to know me, then I'd like them. But if they didn't, and so I started working really, really hard and did a whole lot of work with the heart chakra to free it up, and to literally, I had to mentally image myself going in and tearing down all those walls I built so I wouldn't get hurt.
Yep.
And as soon as I opened up my heart chakra, it wasn't it wasn't intentional on that day. There it is.
Yeah.
What happened was I ran across an article about keto. I had a friend who had the same weight problems I'd had, and she'd lost 50 pounds on keto, and she started telling me about it. So I just went out all on my own and started doing keto, and it was the easiest diet I've ever done in my life, except I don't have a lot of things other people have. Like, I didn't have to feed a lot of other people. I didn't have to have regular meal times, but there's ways to work around all that. But I could not have done that without clearing out this chakra. So when you're looking at chakras, this is a great thing. Now, what you can do with Alma's thing is you can swing your pendulum and say, what chakra is most open for me right now? Well, it would be my throat. And what chakra is most closed for me right now? And it's my third eye. And that's true because I've been taking in all this energy to get to working with the elementals.
Right.
And so I have to do the more practical things. I have to deal in the root, the sacral, and the solar plexus to get the 9 candle thing together.
Right.
So that would make sense. That's how you can use this. If you want to know, I will, in post notes on this show, put how to find out about this. And
that's beautiful.
I know. She's actually, this is the prototype. I think she's lightened the whole scarf up since she did this one. But
so I pulled some cards for Diana.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just interesting because the last card that I pulled was the heart chakra card.
Cool.
So the first card that I got is the hair card, which is about strength.
Mm-hmm.
Take time to make clear decisions, bring awareness and light to the situation. And remember the light, bring the light to the situation. And I've got the healing heart, love, acceptance, and romance. Whenever I get this card, I never ever feel like it's romance partner. I feel like it's romancing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I've got your eternal spirit, higher self, your sacred intuition. I've got personal guides, which is guardian angel and spirit family, your soul tribe. And then I've got this beautiful card here of protect what you love. It is true, your duty and responsibility. And then we got master number 22, the heart chakra. there's a whole lot of loving yourself up that you need to do here, Diana. And it's not a bad thing, right? It's not a bad thing to love ourselves up, to appreciate ourselves. Don't get down on yourself. If you think that you've gained weight, or maybe the doctors asked you to lose weight, whatever the case may be, don't get down on yourself. I would strongly encourage you to try to do some mirror work, to practice some self-care and some self-love sort of time with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would suggest. You can do positive affirmations, right? Every day before you leave the house, walk by the mirror. If you have a mirror by your door or maybe out in the car or something like that, and just tell yourself, you look great today. You look fantastic. You're a wonderful person. Go get them, girl. Encourage yourself, boost yourself up, because if you're telling yourself based on these cards that either, there was a reason why you put on weight other than, maybe because you just ate too much or because you weren't moving around as much, you're sort of setting yourself up to sabotage yourself. And by doing an increase in your self-care and your self-love, you will actually take some of that away, which will allow you to be able to start to actually lose some weight.
Yeah, I can tell you, I know exactly where her weight came from. She just retired from being a nurse for over 30 years.
Wow.
She was in the middle of COVID, everything. I think it's as much cortisol as anything else. But you have, the other thing about someone in Diana's situation is that when you're in that kind of helping profession, there just is not a way to get opened up and to open up all of your energies. It would have killed her. Matter of fact, I told her when we talked, I have a friend in a similar situation. She was a special ed teacher for children losing their sight, helping kids learn to go blind. And she's just retired and she's trying to figure out, what can I learn? What can I do? She also has a tiny bit of a weight problem, and it's from what she was doing. It's how she was protecting herself. So
yeah. We have lots of lovely comments in the chat, but I'll give you some of the questions, and then we've got Elaine at 113, Elaine Waters. It's a super interesting question.
Queen Elizabeth born. Oh. I don't know. You can go look at Steve Judd did a look at the Queen's chart today, because he said, I want her to live forever. He's a royalist, he's a monarchist, not a royalist, which means he's not tied to that royal house, but he thinks monarchy is a good kind of government. But anyway, he went through all her planets, but that's where you need to go, Elaine, to get the answer for this, because he has such a perfect one. I'm not even going to try. Kelly can try, but
I'll throw just a couple of cards, see what I got.
Okay. He talked about how, a progress chart is where you move every planet ahead on your birth chart 1 degree for every year you live. So he moved the Queen's natal chart planets to the progress point. And if you understand astrology, this was her time.
Wow.
So if you can go look at that, and then maybe you can figure out your astrology, because your planets, when you look at your progress chart and how they fit into today's chart, will not be like that. So we're going to put Kelly back.
I've got currents of emotion, uncontrolled feelings. I've got attachment. I mean, these literally like flew out together. This is longing and desperation. So sort of longing to clear the cobwebs, longing for some clarity. That's what I feel. Some separation, maybe. We've got Archangel Phanuel. I never pronounce the Archangel names properly, and do.
What's the name? What's the name?
Phanuel.
I've never even seen that one before.
There you
It
go.
could be Haniel, which is my archangel, and it's like Daniel with an H.
No, I've got her. She's different in this deck, but this
Okay.
is hope, optimism, and new beginnings.
Okay.
And then we've got divine presence, which is the force of love and creation. And I sort of feel like, it's just going to make me cry. If we're looking at Queen Elizabeth's life as of recent, it's obvious that she has been through an awful lot in the last couple of years, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's her uncontrolled feelings. Her attachment is her commitment to the people. Despite what people say, you cannot deny that the woman meant what she said when she was, 21 years old and didn't really probably understand the magnitude of what she was saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
She always had hope. She always spoke of optimism and tried to encourage people to look for the silver lining and the horizon. And I believe that she was a force of love and creation.
Mm-hmm.
And so if there is, any kind of conjunction, Elaine, between yourself and the Queen in terms of sharing a birthday, which is just a beautiful thing, I don't know if any of that resonates with you or not, but I would say that it's possible that you are having some perhaps uncontrolled feelings of your own. Maybe you have some things that you've been trying to clear out or to release. And I would encourage you to try to continue to do that releasing. The 9 candles coming up that Nancy Jean's going to do is a great source of information to help you, right? It's a great time to release, right? It's also a great time to illuminate the dark, right? Because the days and the nighttime will now be of equal length. And so it's a great opportunity to be able to release those shadows or those past or past traumas that may be holding on to you, which then brings you to the hope, optimism, new beginnings, and the force of life and creation and the sun. So that's what I got.
What I got for her was I pulled from a deck you guys are going to see more of than you probably ever want to. Yeah,
Stop.
it's called Gentle Wisdom of the Fairies, and it's an oracle deck. And someone gave it to me years ago, and I do not know where you can even find it. She got it in a rock shop in California. But this card I pulled for you is nurturing. And it says, it's an incredible gift to use your energy to support and nurture others. Take nothing from those you are serving and expect nothing back, but you actually receive more grace and energy from what you give. So I think if you just go ahead and do the right things when you feel it's the right thing, which is what the Queen kind of did. I mean, she learned from her mistakes. If you've watched The Crown, which I'm sure everyone will binge watch this weekend.
Right.
Okay.
The next one we have is from Hypnocity at 121.
Okay. I feel I've been going through a dark night of the soul for 2 years. When will I finally emerge? Well, let's see. Let's see if we can get you a season, bro, from the garden. Okay. Oops. I'll put the garden up here so you can see what's going through in the garden. Okay. Yeah, you are kind of kiddo. But I see this fall is going to have a lot more enlightenment, and it's leading to. I think the worst of this for you was this spring, though. It was in the spring of this year. Present is mine, son. Signs and clues are present for you right now, and you really are in a great place. Your third eye is opening up to intuition and insights. And for some reason, I have a feeling because of where your body landed in air, you're ignoring them.
Yep.
You need to ground your thoughts. You are dwelling way, way, way too much in the past. But if you can clarify those feelings you have, use ideas from your past that are helpful to move you forward. And some of those are going to be based on past lives, not just past things that happen in this life. You need to tie into them. You didn't get your future, the grounding stone landed totally in water, which means grounding changes. The things you're grounding yourself into in this fall are the things that are going to become your long-term patterns. And your spirit, this just reinforces the idea you need to quit hanging on to it's always been this way. You need to wake up every morning and saying, today I'm going to move forward.
Yep.
Because that's where you are. What'd you get, Kelly?
Oh, Hypnicity, my darling. So in full disclosure, I've read for Hypnicity, like privately. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I know this story. And the story really isn't changing. So just as she said, Dark Night of the Soul, we start out with, mm-hmm. in this deck, it's the ego card, but it's the double card in the traditional tarot. Mm-hmm. Right? Dependency, toxicity, whole lot of self-sabotage. Mm-hmm. We have the King of Air, knowledgeable, objective, and respected. This is the energy that you need to tap into, my darling. We have the Knight of Air, intellectual, determined, and motivated, and that is your challenge. Staying motivated, staying on top of it instead of it staying on top of you. The ultimate outcome here is the Six of Fire or the Six of Wands. This is success. This is your self-esteem. This is recognition. This is being heard, victory, throwing your hands up towards the sun and saying, I did it. Mm-hmm. And I know you want that. I know you want that. On the bottom of the deck, we've got the Four of Earth. You are holding on so tight, so tight. You've got to stop white knuckling it, which mm-hmm. I understand a lot easier said than done. And you know my story, Hypnicity, so I know that it can be done, but I know that you have to be kind to yourself and it takes patience and you've just got to take one day at a time. Don't live in the future. Mm-hmm. Today, right? Okay. We've got awaken the magic of your creativity. Now, whenever I pull this card, it's like creative. I don't read this way. Immerse yourself in the world of feelings. Allow yourself to feel what you're feeling. Mm-hmm. Don't stop yourself and tell yourself, no, that's wrong and that's bad. You've got to feel it to be able to release it. Mm-hmm. Right? You've got to change the negative into positive wherever possible, right? Sort of from half full, half empty to half full kind of idea. We've got seeing. This is from the crown chakra. No, third eye chakra. Sorry. Mm-hmm. Perspective, truth, knowledge, and clarity. That's the ticket right there. Change your perceptive. Accept the truth. Allow your mind to gain knowledge so that you can clear out the clutter and the cobwebs and all of the stuff that you're holding on to that allows you to not be able to see through it, if that makes sense. And lastly, distant thunder, clear the air. Mm-hmm. So a whole lot of clarity, right? This really is a situation of standing up and saying, you know what, I am done with this, whatever this is for you, mm-hmm. and finding a new path. I would strongly encourage you to look up on the internet or, through your doctor, CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. Mm-hmm. And there are many things within that program that can teach you how to basically retrain yourself in the way that you think, right? So you take out the negative stuff and you inject the positive stuff. It is something that I've had to do for the last 10 years of my life, and it works. So I strongly encourage you to try to do that so that you can help to change your perspective. I hope that helps a bit, my love.
Yeah, to the point, the one thing on the table that I think, okay, it's here. It's you have information from a past life.
Yep.
That you can tie into, but you need to let go of the things from this life that tie your spirit to that. And you can do it. You're having an opportunity to do it this fall. And quite honestly, what we're doing with the 9 candles is we're going up to switching into the fall season. So now is the time to shine the light.
Yeah.
Because we have longer days and nights on what's wrong, what is false for you, and change them to a truth. Because when your mind's in the third eye, if you read my whole explanation of what goes on there, you're in a little village full of huts that are in the water, or they're on the hills or on the sand, but they have no windows and no doors, but you absolutely know what's happening inside each one of them because your third eye is open. You have the intuition to do it. You just have to allow yourself that and give yourself the grace to heal.
Yeah.
Okay. If you have time, we always have time for cold toes.
Absolutely.
My children want me to sell up here and move to Fairbanks where they live. I've been very conflicted. So,
Flowing.
Yeah, nothing like having your kids think they know it's better for you. I want you to know I changed your diapers. No, you don't. Okay.
I'm sure we can squeeze you in there, Michelle. Or Melissa, sorry. Hi, Michelle, by the way. I'm seeing Michelle's name and saying the wrong name. Sorry about that.
Yeah, because guys, this is my last time. I will not be on again doing this kind of a show till after the 22nd, because you all have no idea what it takes. You think herding cats is tough, try herding psychics.
You guys can always come over to my place and ask me questions.
That's right. She's got all kinds of shows. And she's going to be on one of the 9 candles days. I got to figure that whole schedule out yet. Okay, what I see for you is you're thinking in the right direction, but it's just not clear for you yet. It just you need to be clarified about, I think it's your sense of independence, because what I see, and you had a stone land really weird. It points up instead of flat like it usually does. And so your clarification in fire says, use ideas from your past lives and things that have happened in this life. So you've moved before and you've moved hurriedly. And I see that how you're going to move is you're starting to develop different scenarios, but your body is just not into this. You're saying, I kind of like where I am. I'm not sure I really want to move on. And you got a little bit of water, which says you need to ground a whole lot of what's going on with you, but you need to let go of the limitations, which I think in this case means look at all the possibilities. And even if it means writing them out on a list and saying, I can go here, I can do this, I can do that, and leave your current situation, if you like it, on the table. But then you're going to come up to a conclusion on this pretty soon, because your values show up in the tree of life. And that means this is pyrite, and it looks like gold. It looks like a little chunk of gold, which is perfect, because I understand you're up in the gold country where they used to find gold in Alaska. And it says fool's gold is the deception of not recognizing the abundance that goes beyond what we physically feel. So people feel it's like, oh my God, it's gold. Well, no, it's not. But there may be things that grow out of the exposure to that help you. And this is where you need to learn the lesson of harmony in your life. So I would say you've moved before, you have some remaining doubts about moving, period. And your mind needs to look at all of the aspects so you can let go of the limitations. And you're not fooled by fool's gold. Something might look like it's a shiny, glittery thing, but you know how to evaluate it and how to seek harmony in your own life. And boy, is that a confusing, not giving you a real answer. No, the answer is, I mean, I love it when I give people, I go, that's not really an answer. The answer is, you do know the answers. You just, you're feeling conflicted because part of you wants to hold on. You need to write everything out and then be clear that when you make the choice, you don't make it because the kids put up a good argument or because you're feeling. She lives in a gorgeous place. We saw pictures of outside of her house. It's absolutely wonderful. But maybe there's reasons you need to be in Fairbanks. You just need to weigh all those options. And what this spread's telling me is you need to not get stubborn and say, I live here, so I'm going to stay here forever, or not get into, well, of course my kids are going to take care of me and they won't if I don't go there. So I'm going to put Kelly in here and let her give you the same non-answer. Sorry, Cold Toes.
We have a whole bunch of people requesting questions or readings, and also wanted to say thank you to Vernie for the super sticker, the super chat, whatever you call it. Okay, so real quick, Cold Toast, this is what I've got. Page of Water, right? Sensitive, open-hearted, and intuitive. As
Which she
being
is.
said, a whole lot of water, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your kids asking you this is making you feel some sort of way. And, you know, as a kid myself, you know, I like to think that I knew how to push mama's buttons. You know what I'm saying? So they're pushing you. That's I think how you're feeling. You're feeling like they're pushing you. We have the Ace of Air, inspiration, communication, and adjustments. This is you, Cold Toes. This is you. Already, oh my God, I've got to move. What am I going to do? How am I going to get there? What does this mean? Right? We've got the Two of Fire, the planning, the partnering, and the progress.
Mm-hmm.
So this may be something that you've thought about or you're going, you know, plan to think about in the future. I think that the children have just sort of pushed this ahead a little sooner than maybe you were willing to admit to, if that makes sense. I've got the Justice card on the end. This is karma, balance, fairness, restoring that equilibrium. On the bottom of the deck, I've got temperance, or the balance card in this deck, right? Compromise, self-control, and moderation. And Rose, love. They're doing this from a place of love. And so
I don't feel any manipulation at all. I think it's a genuine concern, and you're concerned like, well, are they really listening to me?
Yeah. And so the next question that I have is transformation. A fresh new way of living emerges. I mean, you can't make that up.
Mm-hmm.
I strongly suggest, because of this card and because of the Justice card, that a conversation, just have a conversation. Say how you feel, right? Communicate. Mm-hmm. Say how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them that you love them. I mean, what a great thing to have your kids tell you that they love you so much that they want you to come in and move closer to them so that they can be with you. State your case. Tell them that you love them and you appreciate them. And when the time is right, you'll revisit it. You know, there's lots of things that you can do to work around other situations, but they have to respect the fact that you know, this is your decision.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really hard. You know, you get to that certain point in your life when all of a sudden your parents become your children, you know, and
never has happened in my life.
Right. Sure. It hasn't. Ingla says that I missed one of her, I missed a question from her, and I'm so sorry, Ingla, if I did.
What is it?
Let me go up. She didn't put it in. Let me go up and see if I can find it, because I didn't.
Marie Henson, Miss Beto, he was in her hometown yesterday.
Yeah. So Melissa has a question at 151.
Okay.
And then Vernie was the super sticker at 154.
Can Angela tell us what her question was? 151, and it's Melissa? Okay.
Yeah.
And she put it in caps. Thank you.
Yeah. Angela, can you pop your question back in there for me, love?
Yeah. If you're still angel guides readings, please. Okay.
Sorry, alphanumeric 1, that is the messages from the spirits of nature oracle. That's what the backside of the card looks like.
Mhm.
It's by Dr. Stephen Farmer. It's a lovely, lovely deck. I think I did a walkthrough or a flip through or whatever on my channel. If you want to look at the whole deck, beautiful pictures, excellent cardstock, really, really good.
Okay, Melissa V. Are you still I will read to you from the Archangel Tarot deck, and I'm going to put out 3 cards that are asking for their message for you. And this is one of Radley Valentine's decks, and I love him. I mean, I love his decks. I think he's a great guy too, by the way. And also, if you go to his network, to his RadleyValentine.com, he's offering a free 3-part training in Archangels starting at 4:00 tomorrow.
Wow.
On Friday. So if you go over there, you can just sign up for it. And I'm signed up for it because then I can go see it whenever I want to see it. But I think at 4:00 tomorrow, I'm going to be doing a real live reading in a person's real life house tomorrow.
Cool. Well, that's who made that deck that I was just using.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I love that deck.
And he's got a new one coming out too. Okay.
That's interesting.
Okay, what your guides are saying is, yes, everything was flowing. Oh, I've got to move so you can see the screen because it's not written on Kelly's forehead. That you had the sun, and that says this is the past. Life is wonderful. You're thriving through power of positive thinking. You've had an inspiring success, which has come to a screeching halt. Your guides are saying insights come from quiet meditations. You were out here doing it, girl. And now it's pulling you back in and saying, you need more time to sleep, take time off, seek relief from stress. You know, we can push ourselves so hard and we get great success and then we have to deal with it. And sometimes we don't know how to quit pushing. And that's what it's telling you need to do right now because you've got another 4. 4s numerically are where you build foundations. And it says, when you give, you receive. Being resistant to change is not helping you. Extremes of how you want to save or spend money. So you have a lot of, and I think it's not just money. I think you're having a lot of excessive pushes and pulls on how to use your own energy. So right now, you need to settle down because this card's in the future. It doesn't have to happen. Let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. Oh. Okay, you could have the 7 of Ariel, which is building a new crop. You've invested wisely. Have patience to wait for the harvest. Review your presence. So you've had this grand awakening, and this could be a lot of ascension work. It could be a lot of just giving within your community, learning about things. You're now you've got the feeling in your heart, I really need to stop and reevaluate where I want to go with all this. This is like the 4 of Swords. And your options are, if you don't do that, you're going to end up feeling overspending or overgiving. If you do that, you're going to get to a point where you're planting your crops wisely. So that's what they're telling me to tell you. So here comes Kelly.
So I went to this deck here, the Guardian Angel cards.
Mm-hmm.
They're heart-shaped cards. I love them. And literally 3 fell out. So I will just quickly tell you the other cards that I pulled. So the first one is Wolf, which is heart medicine. Letting go of that which does not serve your highest good. Release your creative energies. Make use of them in your life. So if you like to draw or paint or crochet or, make, crack up tile and make one of those pretty vases, do that. working creatively and expressing yourself through a creative endeavor will allow you to release things that you're carrying without actually feeling like that's what you're doing. From the what is the chakra? The one above the base. What is that one?
Sacral.
Thank you. Never remember that chakra. The sacral chakra. Desires, goals, passion, fulfillment, and craving. So I feel like there's something about that creative thing, right? I don't know, writing, drawing, something. Either you have been wanting to, or you've been fighting it, or maybe you used to do it. And I got teacher, learning a new path. And so I feel like maybe you need to take a lesson, a painting lesson, a writing lesson, something like that. Here are the 3 cards I got for you. The first one is manifestation. Believe in yourself, trust your instincts, and follow your heart. For in doing so, you shall manifest all your heart desires. The life you have for so long aspired to create will soon manifest. Can't make this stuff up. Beautiful. We have courage, which is dare to be different, to make mistakes, create. For it is in creation that you exist, in this world of dreams that stem from the eternal heart. You are one with all creation. All is possible. Go forth and be true to yourself, for it is only through being true to you that you can be true to others. I mean, see how many times creation and create have come up in these cards. The last one is a prayer. Dear guardian angel, help me to believe that all is possible through love. Help me manifest my dreams and live an inspiring and fulfilling life. Help me to feel God's presence in every moment. Help me to feel eternally loved. Thank you for always being by my side.
Okay. We've got a garden question.
Yeah.
And it's for Bernie. So I'm going to say what the garden wants to tell you today, because you didn't put a question with it, but that's okay. Oh, well, your spirit's in go for it, kids. So you're cranking.
Beautiful.
It's way up here and go for it. Spirit is aligned with all the ideas you're having right now. And spirit says to move forward with harmony on a plan that you have going right now. So you need to move forward. Your brain's a little bit in the past, girl. Break from previous, that's where it was, break from previous patterns. And that's why I think you've got this new plan. It's got new ideas, a new way of handling things. Trust the plan. This is where we're getting a little bit into your insecurities here. Use ideas that you have right now to move forward to new solutions. And you've got your clarification comes from letting go of being tied to past ideas. You don't have to do it that way. You have a new way of doing things now. And your body is emerging from Earth. Physical changes are coming for you. And your thoughts are getting grounded. So whatever this grand plan is, go for it, girl. I mean, this is perfect. Perfect timing for you.
It absolutely is. Sorry, I thought I had a card turnover in my deck, and I'm like, where is it? But no. Okay. Unless I'm crazy, which apparently I am, because it did like a 5.0 somersault and went back. I've got lightning, which is breakthrough.
Okay. I think that's where she is. That's what that top one is. You can't get better than go for it and true.
Yeah. I mean, this is about your power, right? This is harnessing that power, using the power to propel you forward, to new opportunities and new horizons. The last card, or the second card that I've got, which is Cloud, imagination, right? This is about all things possible. It's hope and optimism, new beginnings, right? Imagine when you were a little kid and you used to lay there and you look up at the clouds and imagine all different shapes and things floating around. It's just a wonderful, very light and sort of, I want to say like floaty kind of beautiful energy. You know what I mean? It's like an exuberant puppy sort of energy, right? Where you're just very excited about
Okay.
what you're saying. I love that.
Okay, I have 3 more questions marked. We're going to go through those.
Yep, let's do it.
And then we're going to have to say goodbye just because people at home will be falling asleep if they try to watch this later because it's over an hour. Reading from the garden.
Garden reading.
Garden reading.
Well, I could pull out my garden, but then it would turn into a 4-hour program because I'm not well versed in my garden, but I'm getting there.
Boy, your ideas are spread out all over the world, girl. But you've got your clarity is in your root chakra, and that's really good. That means you're tying your cosmic wisdom to where to move forward to. Your values are, and then you've got your spirits in the tree of life, which be careful of the actions you take. Any action you take that isn't totally empowered by your spirit is not going to be good for you. So that's what you need to watch out for. Then you've got new changes emerging all around you. Your throat chakra is opening up with your mind. Your heart is opening your ability to express what you want to do. So in the middle of all this great energy for new ideas coming forward, you've got your values and go for it. And that's my favorite place. And all is aligned now with your values. So whatever you're up to, Michelle, go for it.
Can you type it in again, Madhu? I'm not sure if we did miss it or not.
I'll go find it. I know what she asked.
Thank you, Vernie. Vernie says love to you both. Very kind.
Good.
All right, Michelle, this is what I've got for you, love. So we start out with the enchanted fern grotto, which is refuge.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So solitude, quietude, peace, tranquility, serenity, all of those wonderful things. And the reason is because there is some healing happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've got the card of truth.
Mm-hmm.
Healing is going to allow you to either speak your truth, heal the truth, feel the truth, allow you to communicate more freely. So I don't know if it's like, it doesn't feel like a secret. It's funny because she literally just wrote in the chat, it's a secret. Just kidding, laugh out loud. Thank you, Nancy Jean. I feel like there might be a secret locked down deep inside of you that you're afraid to almost like say out loud or admit to yourself. And the last card that I've got, and this is just beautiful. This is a new beginnings.
Oh, what a cutie.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like, you take the quiet, you take the solitude, you allow yourself to increase your communication skills, learn to stand in your power and really say how you feel when you feel you need to say it. That's really going to increase your healing, and that's going to open up a whole new world of possibilities for you. That's what I got.
Okay, this is Mayhew's question, and it was a ways back. I don't know how we missed it. It was all in caps, like a good little girl.
So sorry.
Will I get my share of my dad's property as my brother's been holding out for 2 years? I'm going to do this as a simple yes/no reading because that's a kind of yes/no-y kind of question. And you have every right, Kelly, to stay the hell out of this question if you want to. Kelly and I were just discussing families and property and stuff, and I don't go near my family, so I don't have that problem. But okay, I'm gonna move it.
Well, I just want to say to Madhu that I've been in that situation, so I know it's not easy, and it is extremely stressful as you navigate that. So I just want to say that I'm thinking of you. And anyone else affected by it. It is amazing to me when, a loved one passes, how all the crazy seems to come to the surface.
It's going to come to you slowly. There's been a lot of things. I don't think it's been entirely in his hands. I think there's been something about the will was funky.
Yeah.
Or either there wasn't one or it was funky. but the money is there for you. And I'm going to see if that's money that's coming to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got the strength to hold out and get it from him. I think that this has just brought up a lot of old problems the two of you had. So
I don't know where you live, Madhu, but you know, here in Canada, the executor or the executrix of the will has 1 year to provide any beneficiaries any information on the estate dealings. So, but that's here in Canada. So I'm not sure if that applies to you. Hi, Gerald.
okay, we're going to go down after. Do you want to throw a card on this?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to hide it though, so we know what you're throwing a card on. But
yeah,
I'm going to go down to the bottom and try to get the last two.
All right, I've got the 2 of air, which is indecision. So crossroads, indecision, confusion, avoidance. And then I have the sun card. So I think, like Nancy Jean said, everything's going to work out for you, right?
Right.
You've got the 5 of water on the bottom of the deck, right? As I said before, in this time, you've really got to try to stop yourself from thinking the absolute worst. And I want to encourage you, if you have a question, you could always reach out and ask your brother. Now, if he doesn't respond, that's fine. If you are named as a beneficiary, you should be able to contact the lawyer and ask the lawyer.
Lawyer or the probate court, depending on how it was written.
Right. As long as you are listed as a beneficiary, you should be able to do that.
Last week, we did a question for a woman, and I happen to know the whole history of the estate, and it got all tied up with a bunch of trustees or a bunch of crooks, and she's been fighting them for years, and I finally encouraged her to go back and try one more time. And I told her she'd have the money in October. And when she asked that question, she'd already gotten letters saying that the trustees weren't going to present papers till November. And she was like, oh, God, I'm getting ripped off again. And then I did the reading that said, no, you're going to have your money in October. She went to her mailbox that day. She wrote me a long email. There's a letter from the court saying the court didn't believe the trustees either. So they're going to take it over and deal with it before the 1st of October, which means she could get her money. And it's a lot of money. Okay.
Yeah.
So getting a garden reading for Carmilla.
You're very welcome, Manu. Many blessings to you.
Many blessings.
It's not easy to navigate, my friend. I unfortunately have been there.
I tell you what, the 2 things I hate when people ask me about is upcoming weddings and family death and disbursement of property. Those are like the worst. Carmilla, what's going on around you, girl? Oh, you got to go for it too. Yay. I love when I see that, because when I read people and seeing what's really going on around me, her thoughts are leading the way.
Well, thank you, Madhu. That's very kind of you. For the super appreciate you. Blessings.
Thank you very much. And creativity is the key to how you're going to move forward. You're still a little bit tied up with the past, between the past and sacral chakra. And in the past, it's saying, look for patterns in your values where help is needed. And the sacral chakra says your manifestation is supercharged at this time. So this is where it's telling you if you can think it, this is telling you can create it. And the problem is you're still tied to some old disappointments from the past. And I know Carmilla, and I know what some of them are. Let them go. Thoughts of the past are clouding your thinking right now. Oh, God, you got clarity in the middle. I got to read all 4 of them. Okay, body is in air. Ground your thoughts, but your clarity is right at the center of our elements. And as I told you guys, I'm working with the elementals. They really like my little center part here. For your clarity, it says, be sure your thoughts are clear. Use ideas you carry forward from the past, but don't be tied to those past solutions. You may have many paths ahead of you, and the one you need to go on will appear clear to you. And then you will have all the clarity you need very soon to move forward. So this means open up your mind, open up to your own value systems. in the tarot, I always say you can turn a card around. We're going to take spirit out of the fire. Your body's ready to move forward. It's got all the impetus to do it. You just need to get a clear image of where you want to go. And I know that's like, I wake up the days are clear as mud. But anyway, I think it looks great. Carmilla, I think your general reading, things are moving in the right direction for you. What'd you get, Kelly?
I agree with everything that you said. So the first card that I have, we'll cover it up because, we got lady bit parts. This is sexuality. This is from the sacral chakra. This is openness, sharing, beauty, honor, right? It's like self-love, right? We've got, again, from the sacral chakra, pleasure, enjoyment, beauty, sensuality, and indulgence. More self-love, appreciation for who you are and all that you do, right? Don't forget that. Don't forget you. Moving on up the chakras, from the throat chakra, we have sound. I love this card. It's master number 33. Music, silence, rhythm, and vibration. So maybe there's something in a song. Maybe song is the way that you allow yourself to communicate more freely. Maybe through listening to music, you sort of work on your listening and your hearing skills to be able to hear messages that are coming to you. There's something in song, right? Maybe it's messages coming through in song. Or maybe it's just that it's going to bring you joy if you just crank the tunes and sing to your heart's content.
That's right.
We have another master number, which is from the third eye chakra, presence. So we have awareness, attention, reality, and connection. I thought it said contract, and I'm like, no, that's not right. It's hard to read backwards in the camera. So connection, right? Awareness, attention, reality, and connection. Not sure if you are feeling a connection, if you have a connection, if you understand the connection, but I think that all of these things are helping you to develop that. So there's something there for you in terms of that connection.
Okay, I got another question. Then I think we have one after that, and then we really, honestly need to go because people have lives, other than watching us. And I'm pulling from my Language of Flowers deck, and it's real simple. It's got a flower on it, and this is it. And I'm just going to pull one.
I have those too. Let's see. Let's do a little experiment, shall we?
Yeah. Let's see what you get. I can't believe I got this.
Carmela says, I keep talking and singing to myself. Does that count? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Because you're
best way to open up your throat chakra. Okay, what'd you get, girl?
I've got pitcher plant.
I got Camilla.
This is
Camellia.
And yours is what? Peace?
Yeah.
This is the answers are there for those who look.
Yes, and mine says be calm and calm will come to you. So that's kind of a quick reading for, if people don't lose their brains.
Yeah.
And I mean, I realize they did during Brexit, but
Well, the thing is that, as a Canadian, I feel like I can talk about this. So the plans have been in place for years and years and years and years. The exact same thing that's going to happen today, sadly, is the same thing that happened, 70 plus years ago. April 21st, 1947, when she turned 21 and became the queen. The same thing that happened when her father became the king. And I don't mean to dismiss it because she's my queen too. And I'm like fighting back the tears. So it's just going to take a while for us to grasp it. And all these people, and I'm sorry, this is my opinion and how I feel. For all the people that don't believe in the monarchy and all the people that think that this is the end of the monarchy and all that, I think that's a bunch of hogwash. I think that we're just going to accept the change, and everything's just going to move the way that it's been moving for the last couple of years. There's going to be a whole lot of news about it, because now we're going to try and like drum up business in the media. But I think that the firm, as they say, will run quite smoothly, because
it's been running for so many centuries, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
Yeah,
It's not like we can have one clown decide to start a riot and cause problems. Okay. One thing. Thank you, Madhu P, for the super sticker. And this is our last question of the day.
Yeah.
If we're still taking questions, obviously, Vicky, and we will do this. Vicky's a regular.
Yes. I hope that your shoulder is feeling better, Vicky, by the way, from Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'm going to pull it. I'm going to stay with the flower cards because they seem to like me today. So my message for Vicky is red rose, courage. Beautiful. Oh, I love red roses.
I want you to know that I actually took that card that you've got there in your hand, Nancy Jane, and I made like my little positive affirmation board, and I stuck it up on here to be positive, and like my little mantra, and then my cat ate it.
Oh, well, your cat likes roses.
Be positive.
I think you've got a lot of courage going on around you, and it's not false bravery. You really have the stuff to do well. And I'm going to bring Kelly over.
I've got great adventure. Take a risk and venture forward.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
See, that's you're at a breakthrough. What I see is you're standing on the precipice of making a decision, and it's going to take some guts to make it, but you're going to do great.
Yeah, Barb, honestly, it's not even funny. I had 6 like little quotes or, affirmations, I call them, and I put them on my positivity board, which is just another name for my bulletin board. And my cat ate every single one of them. Like one day I woke up and I was like, wow, it looks like there's one missing. And then I woke up and I'm like, there's only 3 left. And there was 7. And then I woke up and it was gone. And I thought that because it was just a sticky note, I thought they were falling down behind it. Like the flipping cat, it ate all my positive. So he's super positive.
Okay. Yeah, he's glowing from the inside.
He is. Literally.
Anyway, goodbye, everybody. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the other side. You will get notifications of the 9 candles. I'm giving you lots of heads up to go get your 9 candles. And my favorite story about that is the first time I did 9 candles was in December of 2020. And I just thought I'd start doing it and see how it went, and didn't announce it or anything. And so this one woman said, well, I stopped it when I saw what you were doing, ran around my house, found 9 red candles and set them up so I could light them. And my only thought after reading that email is, what do you live in, Michael's? I mean, who has 9 red candles? I do, because, well, I will as soon as Amazon delivers them for me. But anyway, so I look forward to you. These 9 red candles are about emergence, to learn about the little rituals we can build in our lives that make us stronger. Okay? And we say goodbye. Goodbye, ending the broadcast. Bye, guys.
Blessings.